Hey everyone, in this demo tutorial, I'm going to go over hands and feet for my figure drawing class. So I'm going to do my best to make this a pretty quick demo if I can. I have to kind of go over a little bit, but in this video, it's more so about, for me, getting the structure. So getting the top, bottom side of the hands, also the fingers, or you could say the palm, the fingers. That's what I'm interested in. When it comes to the bones and the anatomy, we haven't even gotten to that portion in class yet. So I really just want my eyes to see and focus on the actual structure of what I'm seeing. And I personally feel like um, that's that is what's important at this stage right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. That way this is not longer than what it should be. Alright, so normally what I do is I start with a gesture. You always want to start with a gesture. So I'm gonna come in and get that palm in. I want to get an idea for the perspective of the wrist. So I want to get kind of that box shape in for right now, and just in a very early gesture stage. So if I'm fairly light, I apologize. It's just I need to be light for the beginning stages. So I want to get the gesture for the palm. I want to make sure I have a curve for that palm. I kind of want to extend it out just a bit. I'm in the gesture stage, so I can change things up if need be. It's very early stage, so I'm changing my mind right now. So now that I kind of have an idea for that palm in, I want to just establish where this thumb is and get the spacing of the thumb and that web of the thumb that's here. I know there's a muscle in this area. Now that I have that, I want to just kind of get this gesture of this thumb. It's very oddly positioned, and I'm okay with that. I tend to do my best to stay boxy because I need to figure out where's the top, where's the bottom, where's the side. That's very important for me. And I kind of have an idea of this thumb. I do my best to think of negative space because more and more, I think the older I get with drawing the figure, I start to have more of an idea of how important negative shape is, because it's very important. And just trying to nail it if I can. Just erasing lightly. I really want that ghost to be there. Alright, so now I kind of have that. Then I can kind of come in and start to plan out these digits. These digits. Plant out the digits. Also, still want to think of what's happening in this area. So I want to kind of get that idea of that swoop that's there. Still staying boxy. I'm fine with the box look for right now. Then I'm just going to travel down. I want to use my eyes and get an idea for where the web of that index finger and also the middle finger is. Negative space. Gesturing because there's this This hand is very weird. I like it. It's very weird and deformed, but it's a-okay with me. So I still want to maintain just kind of the gesture that I'm seeing. Just trying to get some quick top, bottom, and sides. Trying to think of a French fry. That's how you think of it sometimes. Alright, negative shape. Make sure I'm not spacing things out. Still looking for what this rotation is doing. I kind of feel like my negative space is about right now. Still very much in a gesture stage with this. Negative space. Staying boxy. I'm actually I'm using the front of that palm and I'm placing each individual digit on that. Changing my gesture just a bit in that palm. Getting an idea for that pinky. And I know this finger overlaps that. So, got some of this webbing as well that I do see. Get the side of that pinky, Ree. Get it in. Although it's already fairly light, but I'm just going to go ahead and erase it out just for right now. Alright, so now I have a quick gesture in that I feel good about. Getting some of these bony landmarks in. Alright, now. Very quick, very simple, quick gestures. Got a bit of a structure there. So I'm not going to go completely all out and render out this hand. No. This is just a simple demo for you guys. So I'm not going to go too far into getting knuckles, but I am going to place them. And then of course this is, you know, the veins that's happening. Going to place them just there. I'm not going to go all out and render them. A little knuckle there. I'm just placing them very lightly. So now what I'm going to do is just trying my best to get this to look closer to what I'm actually seeing. So we have our wrist bone. Get a little bit of that muscle in. I got a little bit of that happening. Then I want to come in and get this shape in just a bit more. idea for the nail. Get the front of the thumb in. Top, the front, and the side. Woo! I'm very much exaggerating this portion of the thumb. I'm gonna bring it in just a little bit more. I want to describe what that web is doing. Start to break up some of these shapes. I know there's a beautiful vein that's here. To break up some of the three parts of the finger. Also, I'm going to take this idea that's here, just going to draw right now just a little oval for the bend of that stretch. A little bit more construction of what I'm seeing. Come in with some wrapping lines. Clean up my lines just a bit. And I want to get now I want to look for the nail. I want that nail to wrap around that finger. Got an idea for the nail, but I want the nail and the finger to look more like what I'm seeing. But it ain't there. Still getting the front. I got the top, got the front end. You know, this is the side that kind of wraps around. And although I'm boxy, I can still come in and curve a line down. Now that I have that in, I'm going to clean up my curves just a bit. Clean up the curves. And then I'm going to come in. I still really think that this part of the hand and also the web part of the hand feels good. Even in that gesture state, I think I nailed it. little bit of a I kept it boxy. I'm just going to round it out. You guys, I'm quiet because I'm concentrating. So if you're like, she just completely stopped talking. Yes, I'm really concentrating on getting this finger to look right. So I'm turning it back into a box so I can see it properly. That was giving me my top, bottom, and side. That's all I needed. Then I can always round it back out. Like for me, I always have to box it out. Then I round it out. It's easier for me to see that structure. Alright, so we have this finger in. Now, I know this is my negative space, which more and more I compare and look, I feel like it's pretty close to what I'm seeing. So, pretty proud of that gesture. Alright, so let me kind of get the side of this. I'm also going to move over. Then I want to get a little bit of structure of the wrapping of that nail. Wraps around that cylinder. A little bit more in. Alright, so I still feel like this negative space feels good. Kind of wrap around this. A little bit of a welt that's there. get in the nail. I really want to get the curve of that in. I want to keep that gesture. This has a really good gesture to it. Alright guys, so this is normally my start in my process. If this was a hand that, not a demo, just a hand that I really was trying to get nailed down, I would spend a lot more time on it, a lot more time on correcting it, but you get an idea of how I start without even using, I use some anatomy, but not a lot, but without using like the bony structure, just using my eyes and really seeing, and also thinking about top, bottom, and side, thinking about getting that top of that finger, the side of the finger, bottom of the finger, getting the webs in between, paying attention to negative spaces. That's really what's really important when it comes to hands. Once you kind of get an understanding of all of these things, hands tend to become fairly easy to do. It's not a whole lot of information you may need, but it becomes fairly easy, and it actually becomes really fun. I remember being a student and hands weren't the funnest because I never could nail it looking like a hand until I practice and practice and practice more on it. So hopefully this helps. I'm gonna break a clip and I'm gonna come back with feet. Yay, feet. Alright, you guys, so I'm back with feet. Yay, feet. I need to get better pronouns. This is horrible, but I'll get it down. I'm gonna get it down in this demo. So once again, I'm gonna try and get through it. I'm not going to go into full depth. I really just want to focus on structure, and allowing that to guide my eyes through those feet. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Normally when it comes to feet, what I do is I figure out where the ankle is, because it's a clear image that's here for that ankle. Once I figure that out, then I know, okay, where my wrench shape needs to be. So normally that's what I want to do. I want to go in, I'm like, okay, let me gesture it in, let me find it. The one thing I love about gestures, it allow you to get things in, see it as a whole without you going all, without you getting too caught up in the drawing. Once I kind of have that wrench shape in, I know that the foot is going to come out of that shape. I also know that I have a heel that's here. Still staying within the gesture if I can. Once I have that heel in, the gesture stage, now I'm kind of getting in a little bit of the pads of the feet. And just like our palm, I normally cut the feet the same way. So I want to still remain in kind of that top, bottom, side idea. So I know this is fairly light, but hopefully you guys can see it. So now that I have that, I'm thinking about this corner that's here. I tend to always start my feet with the big toe. Don't know why I just tend to do that. And so I'm just getting it placed, breaking it down just a bit. I'm just thinking of simple shapes and also connections. Also, I want to count. Make sure you don't got more toes than what you need. Sometimes some people get caught up in the drawing and that happens. I've seen people do it. Our toes tend to curve, so I like to exaggerate the curve just a bit. Still want to think of negative space. Need to bring this toe out just a bit. That curve that's there. Alright, now I got that in. I'm gonna curve out this toe. And think about how far that pinky toe come out. Using a gestured line to connect. Not sure which line I want. It's plenty, but I'm glad it's there. So I got a little structure here for these toes. Quick gesture in. Now I can kind of come in and I can still think about just getting the full top, bottom, side. You know, that's the top of the foot. We know that this is the side of the foot. The side of that pad. If I draw through, I can get the other side. Kind of see it as a whole. Alright, so now I can come in and start to get it to look a little bit more like what I'm seeing. I have a ton of lines here. And think of the angle of this. Guys, I have problems with angles. Every time I think there's an angle there's not really the right angle. So I'm constantly checking. going to begin to flesh this out just a bit, get that curve in. Then I want to wrap that nail around. The nail starts so early in at the tip of this toe. Feeling what that, don't go that great, just not feeling what it looks like. That's a lot closer to what I'm saying. Thinking about my negative space. My little toes that are here. Although like it's very of a flat slope, like I really just want to exaggerate the slope. I'm gonna stay true to what I'm saying. I think I'm too. Not flat enough. Alright, guys. So, this is my foot. So, guys, this is the process for me. This is how I go through my process of drawing the foot. As of right now, like I said, I want to focus more on just getting structure, getting the top, bottom, and side of the foot. Understanding, coming in with that gesture, understanding the duck shape, understanding the connections of the ankle, how that foot comes out, understanding how these toes curve down when you're drawing them. That's the process that you want to think about. When we get to anatomy, for sure, we'll have more things that connects together, muscles and bones and things. But when it comes to getting just the structure and the construction, just understanding how things and forms connect together, that's going to get you a lot closer to a realistic foot than a foot that doesn't have that structure that's in it. So that's what you really want to pay attention to. Alright, guys, so I will see you guys in the next clip, and I'll also see you guys tonight. So have a nice night, day, wherever you at, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.